plan. That's the plan, that's the dream, that's the goal. Label? But this is me enjoying the book.
He is Mr. Green Flag himself.
Label. Do you not know what a trial run is? What? What is it?
Stella.
What? Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video and the next couple of videos are going to be part of the holiday fun, holiday spirit, and they are all going to be pre-filmed video because I'm not around for the next couple of weeks, and I'm so lucky to have been able to kickstart this Bookmas with Jesi. Jesi and I are doing a book swap, which means she's reading one of my recommendations and I'm reading one of her recommendations. So definitely make sure to check out her channel after you're done with this video. But for this reading vlog, I am only going to be reading one book, and it is the book that Jesi has recommended to me, and it is Lovelight Farms by BK Borison. I do believe I have the second book in her Lovelight Farms series, so I actually do have her second book on hand, but I got my copy of Lovelight Farm from the library. I'm not really sure what to expect from this book, except for the fact that Jesi says she's really anticipating my reactions to this. So for this video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different and do live reactions. So let's read about it together and see what my first initial thoughts are, and if I would just pick up this book at the bookstore. A pasture of dead trees, a hostile takeover of the Santa barn by a family of raccoons, and shipments that have mysteriously gone missing. Lovelight Farms is not the magical winter wonderland of Stella Bloom's dream. Honestly, I think I would have picked up this book by the sheer fact that they mentioned raccoons in it. I love raccoons. I think they're adorable. I will insert a picture of me being ecstatic because I got to pet a raccoon in Korea because they have raccoon cafes. I think raccoons are cute. Yeah, you guys might think I'm super weird, but I think they are cute. Can't tell me otherwise. And also, Stella Bloom, does anybody here watch Winx Club or have seen Winx Club? That's what I'm thinking of when I read Stella Bloom. Stella and Bloom are two separate characters, but I can already see that I'm going to be imagining some sort of hybrid between Stella and Bloom from the Winx Club. In an effort to save the Christmas farm she's loved since she was a kid, she enters a contest with an insta-famous influencer, Evelyn St. James. With added publicity and the 100,000 cash prize, she might just be able to save the farm from its financials. Whoa, there's just one problem. To make the farm seem like a romantic destination for the holidays, she lied on the application and said she owns Lovelight Farms with her boyfriend. Only there is no boyfriend. Enters best friend Luca Peters. Is this gonna be a friends to lovers? I'm kind of excited. I don't think I read many friends to lovers. I am a very heavy enemies to lover kind of person, but I feel like friends to lovers is just so sweet. It's like you've been rooting for them for so long, so I'm actually kind of excited for this. He just came home for some hot chocolate and somehow got a farm and a serious girlfriend in the process. Lovelight Farm is a romantic comedy featuring a handsome, freckled data analysis, a messy, optimistic Christmas tree farm owner, and a small town with the best hazelnut lattes on the East Coast. The sweet, steamy romance is a holiday happily ever after. Honestly, this really gives me the vibes of the holiday rom-coms that float around, the holiday rom-com movies. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, and I'm kind of excited. I'm ready to dive in. I'm ready to see what this is all about and what I'm going to rate it. I'm just gonna get cracking. It is actually pretty late right now. I don't know how much I can get through, but I'm really hoping to finish this in one day. That's the plan, that's the dream, that's the goal. Alright, now I'm gonna get started in reading this book and see where it takes me. I am on page 116, so I'm a good third of the way through, and I really like this book. I love the banter between Luca and Stella. I love their conversation, but I can already tell that miscommunication is going to be a big issue in this book just because of how many back and forth that they've been going through, where she kind of just hints at the fact that she likes him and then backtracks. She does this again and again. I think he can pick up on it, but he's also not really like blatantly being bold, which is kind of interesting because in a previous chapter they talked about how whatever he wants he gets, and he's like been able to be super confident and pick up women at bars. So I'm wondering what is the shift shift between those instances and with Stella. So I'm kind of vibing with it right now. I'm listening to it as an audiobook while playing Stardew Valley. I try to read it as a physical format book, but something about today, my brain, or just recently, my brain has just been all over the place and I can't seem to focus on one task at a time. I keep having to take a pause every 30 minutes and do something else. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm gonna keep reading this as the book because I got to a part where I feel like it's about to get interesting. A little bit of context before I start talking about it. They just came home from the fake Thanksgiving dinner that her dad, or should I say sperm donor, hosted and invited her to because he's too embarrassed to actually invite her to a real Thanksgiving dinner. And he comes along both as a friend and as a date. They have the slight miscommunication where she feels like, oh, is he just here to practice being in a relationship with me because they're fake dating? And he's just like, no. But now they're talking about whether they should practice being in a relationship with each other since they have to put on this front for this social media Instagram follower person, right? So, and he just commented saying that he has like post-coitus reviews and he should send out a 1 to 10, and I thought that was so funny. So I'm gonna continue reading that because I feel like it's gonna get a little bit intense. Okay, so this is what I mean. Okay, so this is the part that I just listened to on audiobook, and the audiobook is pretty decent, so I'm also really enjoying the audiobook. But the part where I paused and I was like, I think I need to get my camera for this. I think it's about to get spicy. Is the fact that she says, suck at it? I'm offended. I suck at it. You probably suck at it. I can assure you I do not suck at it. What, do you have a survey you sent out? Rate your level of satisfaction from 1 to 10? I don't know. This quip and banter part is really fun to me. I like a good communication banter aspect. That is a huge part that I look for in romance books. And I don't know, like Luke just seems like a stellar guy. He cooks, he listens to her, he watches out for her, he has a lot of like acts of service, and he's also a very affectionate person. So I'm really interested to see how they go from friends, best friends even, to being a real couple, because right now I don't see anything that will work if they keep hinting at the line but not crossing the line yet. So I'm gonna read it and see if I have any major reaction. If not, I'm gonna go back to playing Stardew and listen to it on audio. Okay, so I don't understand why she's confused about how he feels about her, but I'm also confused as to why he's doing all these things without actually saying anything with her. I know she has abandonment issues. It's very clear from the text that she has a lot of abandonment issues dealing with her sperm donor dad. But then these are the things he does. His thumb drags against my hip bone. He presses into me further, just for a second. His body weight a delicious heavy pressure against me. His nose drags through my hair, nozzled once beneath my ear. I don't think I've ever platonically been okay with anyone invading my personal space, and maybe that's just me just not liking people in my personal space, but I feel like that's weird. And I think she's trying her best to really solidify the fact that they can't be together or else she'll lose him. So things are really obvious in my opinion, at least for me as someone who likes her personal space. But reading these scenes do make me giddy, but then I already know that the frustration I'm going to have when we get to maybe like 2/3 of the book and the same things happen again and again, and she's vehemently denying the fact that he has real feelings for her, or the fact that she refuses to even see that this whole time he has feelings for her. So I'm not excited to get to that part. It's something that I am expecting, and I'm predicting that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna continue reading this. I'm enjoying the book so far. So far, this is going to be a solid 4 stars. It's a friends, best friends to lovers, fake dating. It's so cute. Those tropes are always the cutest, but friends to lovers with fake dating generally comes with a lot of misunderstanding because of the gray line involved. I'm excited to see how BK Borison will handle this, and I'm gonna continue reading. They did their first kiss, and this is guys, it's so ridiculous. It's so cute. Their first kiss in their fake relationship is not going very well. I don't know how they're gonna pull this off. Oh, the first kiss was so cute, but I already know this is gonna cause problem. I wonder if him going back into the city, into New York, doing work is gonna be a big issue in this book. I feel like it has to be, because he's doing his big data analyst job in the city, and then she lives in a farm 3 hours away, right? So clearly that has to cause some sort of issue in the future. So I'm also gonna put a pin into that to remember to reflect back on if any issues occur and arises in this book, which there probably will be, but you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the nickname. He keeps calling her La or Lala, short for Estella or Stella, but I really don't like that nickname. And this is coming from the girl who wrote Twilight fanfiction, and the nickname I gave Bella was Labelle, or better known as Label, because I decided to rearrange the letters and I didn't even realize that I spelled label. It was I'm still mortified to this day because I didn't even realize it until like a couple of chapters in, and the people on fanfiction.net commented on it and said that they had like a good laugh because every time they read it, they just read it as label. I really thought I was fancy or something with French label, but I just wrote label. So for me, Lala is not really a cute nickname. Whenever he calls her Lala, I'm kind of like not into it. It's one of those nicknames that's kind of gyrating in my head. I don't like it, but they're taking their romance seriously now. They're giving it a try. I am on page 214 and I think they're about to catch whoever is breaking and entering on the farm. It seems like originally I thought it was going to be a big deal because he's living like 3 hours away in New York, but since it seems like he has a job offer a lot closer, that might not be the miscommunication, misunderstanding. Hopefully, I will have to say, even though he's laying his cards on the table and she's realizing that it doesn't feel weird, she's still being a little bit iffy about it. So I'm not a fan of that. I already know at the end of like the 1 week trial, she's just gonna be like, all right, I had a good time, but I want to stay best friend because of that abandonment issue that she has. So I'm not ready for it, but I will continue reading this because I don't know, I really like it. We are basically at the 2/3 mark, and I'm pretty sure at the moment, if it stays like this, it's going to be a solid 4 stars. Jesi did warn me that I might have some reactions to how the story progressed, so I'm just on the lookout, like what is it? Also, this is a weird angle, but I'm laying on my bed and I wanted to read, and this is the angle that I've chosen.
When you're talking about your Lavelle, you fucking said that the nickname is gyrating inside your head.
What's wrong with that?
You basically said, you know, that nickname is still twerking inside my head right now. That doesn't make any sense.
What's wrong with it not making any sense?
I just think it's funny. You're talking about using words wrong, trying to be fancy.
Okay, well, obviously gyrating is not the right word, but you guys get the point. I get the point. He gets the point, even though he's calling me out for it. I might have to call it a day with reading the book. Oh my god. I think the person who's hosting the contest that Stella is participating in is going to be Lucas X. That's my prediction, because I feel like the author spent way too much time hyping up how she looks. Impossibly long legs. Evelyn is just as beautiful in person as she is online. Flawless honey-colored skin, dark shiny hair that hangs down to the middle of her back. Dude, I feel like we got way more description of Evelyn than we did any other character, aside from our lead, of course. So I have a feeling that it's gonna be Lucas X or something along the line with Luca, and then that'll cause, we are at the 2/3 mark, so I'm expecting something like that to cause problems, but I'm really hoping it won't. I guess I'll keep you guys updated. I don't even remember what I said about the halfway point. Oh, right. I said that when I initially read the first half was that maybe their like third act breakup will have to do with something along the lines of Luca not living in the same town as she does and living 3 hours away. But with the introduction of Evelyn, I'm wondering if that's gonna be the third act breakup now. So I'm excited to see. I just hope it's not dealt with really annoyingly. I gotta power through it. I wanna know. Oh, it's so cold. Oh my god. Okay. Fully covered. Gotta keep reading. Okay, that was quick. It doesn't seem like Luca and Evelyn know each other, so we're safe on that front for now. But I'm gonna keep reading because it's weird, right? Where she keeps, there's like so much highlight on how pretty Evelyn looks. I just thought it was weird, but maybe I'm just overthinking things. I should just enjoy the book as is. But this is me enjoying the book. I love thinking about things that would happen, could happen, and I just like to think about like all the hints that the author might drop on us so that we can kind of predict the rest of the book. That's my kind of favorite way of reading. So it seems like maybe there's nothing going on with Evelyn and Luca, thankfully. I would hate a third act breakup with a third party in it. That's like one of the tropes that I like the least, when there's like misunderstanding surrounding like another potential partner involved. I just don't think it's ever handled very well whenever it comes to that. That's like my least favorite kind of trope, where, well, I guess it's not trope, but the third act breakup where it entails a third party participant in it, where there's like some misunderstanding with the third party participant. Those are just the most frustrating to read. No. No? What? Wait, actually, it seems like Evelyn knows Beckett, actually, who is supposed to be like the farm manager, the person who actually inspects the tree, take care of the tree and all of that. It's awkward. They're both awkward. She's holding like her fist is white. So this is getting spicy. Yes, I know I complained about it being freezing cold, and yet I'm drinking an ice cold drink. But I've said this in my previous video. No matter the temperature, whether I only drink cold things. I'm on page 333 and I'm still so frustrated that even after all this, and even when he basically says words like we should have been doing this for years, she still thinks that after all this they're gonna become best friends instead of being a couple. Like, did that not ever occur to her at any point whatsoever? I don't know. I'm getting kind of annoyed because there's no way this girl is this dense, right? And I think Luca just dropped the bomb of him moving to Delaware, which is a lot closer to her than New York is. And let's see what the shitstorm is about to do. I'm still really annoyed about the fact that like they had a romantic night together. He says that they should have been doing this forever. He basically confesses to her how good she looked the first time they met, and she still thinks that they're gonna be best friends after this, and that whatever they just did is just a trial run. Like, what, do you not know what a trial run is? Frustrating. Oh my god, I just said it and it's hitting and I'm so mad. No way, this is the third act breakup. No way. What? How is a woman this dense? Like, I think it's safe to say the trial period was a success. I mean, and then she says, yes, absolutely. It doesn't mean we should keep doing it though. This is how you guys are gonna stop being best friends. Oh no. Right, but it's called a trial because a trial comes to an end. Yes, no shit. It comes to an end and you decide whether or not you want to continue. But then, like, why go into it if you think it's gonna be... Oh my god. I'm so frustrated already. Thank god the male lead knows how to communicate. He's literally yelling to her that he's in love with her. I can't wait to see what she says. Oh my god, this was so frustrating to read because he's literally yelling at her that he's in love with her, and she's just like, you don't mean that you're confused because of our arrangement. Girl, it sounds like you're confused. Bro, thank God Becca is the voice of reason. Quote unquote. It shouldn't have taken you a video to realize, because true, it really shouldn't have. I have made it to 365, which is now officially the epilogue, and I think they are officially together. We had about like 10 pages of frustration that I vented to you all, but all in all, I didn't think it was terrible. I don't know how much I could film because my husband is playing video games with his friends right now, so they're yapping and I'm also yapping. I think overall, I said it was a solid 4 stars in the beginning. I think Luca is a perfect guy. I think he's one of the best main protagonist male lead that I have seen, but the third act breakup and the density of Stella is pretty annoying. So this one might be a 3.5 stars for me. I'm gonna have to see how the epilogue goes, but I'm gonna try to wrap up this book now and then update you guys when I finish the whole book officially.
So I completely forgot to film an outro for Lovelight Farms, so here's my outro take. This book is a recommendation from Jesi, or rather not a recommendation, but as part of her bookmas, she and I swapped books or told each other what book to read for her bookmas day 11, if I recall correctly. I told her to read Twilight because she has not read Twilight, and she's read Crave, and I don't know, maybe it's the cover, the vibes of the book. I really feel like those two books are kind of similar, and I don't want to go into the Crave saga. I don't even want to read it, to be completely honest. So I'm having her read Twilight because she has already read Crave, to let me know if they are similar in any ways, but also to see what she thinks about Twilight. Twilight was such a cult classic favorite in the 2009-2010, and I was really surprised that she hasn't read it. So I had to recommend it to her because I want to know what she'll think about the book. And for me, she recommended Lovelight Farms by BK Borison. I actually have her spring book as well, and I'm gonna give this book 3 stars. It wasn't giving what I wanted it to give. The setup and the premise was spectacular and amazing. The male lead, Luca, the most perfect guy you can think of, but Stella, please. I don't even think Stella was that bad. It was just how the third act breakup was handled, just completely not my cup of tea. It's a very simple friends to lovers romance with a dash of fake relationship, and that's how the romance starts. But unfortunately, Stella just grinded my gears so much with how she's going to tell Luca how he feels. Literally in the book, Luca spells it out for her. There's no miscommunication. I really thought miscommunication was going to be what is the third act breakup, but there is no miscommunication because Luca outright says, I am in love with you. How much more clear can you get from that? And I understand that Stella has some trauma dealing with abandonment, but the reason why it didn't work so well in this book was that it was just kept being told and being said, but we never really get to go into more depth about that character and that trauma that she faced. So it's just something that's more used as a moving plot point and a plot device rather than something that's actually part of her personality, in my opinion, or part of her characteristics. So it didn't really work for me in this aspect. A good comparison between Lovelight Farms to another book would be Funny Story. I felt like Funny Story has the elements of fake dating and friends to lovers, and there's also the root issue of the female lead being abandoned in Funny Story. But the reason why it worked a little bit better than this book was the fact that we delved much deeper into the psychology and the character of the female protagonist in Funny Story. And then when I tried to understand a little bit more about Stella's personality, given all the context that we don't have much. We only get like very small snippets of her mom died at a young age, and she does not have a father figure. The father is known more as a sperm donor, and that they had to move from place to place. It was really never solidified to me why she has this fleeting heart and this like barrier around her heart, why she feels like people left her, except for those 2 facts. Whereas in Funny Story, I felt like it was built on upon a lot and a lot more. Overall, I still think it's a great Christmassy story to get me into the Christmas vibes and the Christmas mood, even if the romance isn't really there for me. The epilogue is also kind of kind of whatever. It's one of those very typical proposal epilogues. It was quite predictable, if I have to say so myself, but still an enjoyable read. I was kicking and giggling because Luca is the guy. He is Mr. Green Flag himself. I was really scared that the third act breakup or the conflict that's going to arise was going to be much more dramatic. And when it actually arrived, I couldn't help but feel almost disappointed in our female character because the whole time she's been thinking like, once this is over, we'll go back to being best friends, yada yada yada. Even though I don't know, man, how much more can Luca spell out for you? And when things get resolved, it's still Luca who apologizes first, whereas I really wish we saw Stella being the one to reach out to him to mend this breakage, because I don't think Luca should have been the one who reached out first and then apologized for walking out on her and saying that he played into her fears. Like, yes, but also you gotta look out for yourself too, bud. So overall, just a solid 3-star read. It's a fine romance. I don't think this book is anything special. I'm probably not going to purchase it. I do have the second book in the Lovelight Farms 4-part companion novel, In the Weeds. I got it at my local secondhand thrift store, and I'm gonna give it a try. But if they end up being around the same rating, I'm probably gonna end up donating this book as well. Not going to be purchasing this, but I'm glad I read it because now I'm in a very Christmassy vibes and Christmas mood. This is a great transitional book into the winter time. And with that, I think this is it for this video. Definitely make sure to go check out Jesi's video at the end of all of this. I can't wait to see what she thinks about Twilight. I'm scared. It's not bad, but it's not good either. And with that, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, fantastic day. I hope you have a wonderful and happy holiday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!